Alright, so I'm going to be replacing the hard drive on this mid-2012 13-inch MacBook Pro model A1278. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is use a PH0 or JIS0 screwdriver and remove all the screws from the bottom. You want to keep the screws in order. The way I do that is I put them with the flat side down like this on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So here you can see it's in this rectangular pattern. So we're just going to put them in that rectangular pattern. Alright, so these two, or actually these three screws are longer than the rest, so if you for some reason mix them up, keep that in mind. But again, it's always a good idea to keep all the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and length. Alright, first thing I forgot to mention, of course, make sure that your computer is completely shut down. So you want to open the screen and make sure it's powered off. Let me double check because sometimes I think I turned it off, but I didn't. Alright, it's off. Okay. Alright, now let's go ahead and finish removing all the screws. If this video helps you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my channel with others so that they can also learn how to fix and upgrade their own devices. Alright, if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Alright, every little bit helps and is greatly appreciated and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. These are customer computers. I don't own these computers that I work on. So yeah, but as I continue to make more and more of these videos, more and more people will be able to fix them themselves. So yep. All right, let's continue removing all these screws. There we go. Now let's go ahead and remove the bottom cover. So just go here and then pull this cover up just like that. It's a little dusty, so I'm actually going to clean this off. All right, and then I'll be back. All right, see you guys in a bit. Alright, I'm back. So cleaned off that. Alright, a lot less dust inside. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and replace the hard drive. So hard drive is right here. I'm going to zoom in. Alright, so we're not going to do a complete disassembly of this one. We're just going to do the hard drive. I'll explain some of the components, but I'm not going to really be taking things out. Alright, so let's go ahead. After we undo these two screws, we'll pull this up. Then you can use this tab to help lift the hard drive up. If you don't have the tab, then you kind of just get your fingers in there and kind of pull it up like this. Alright, once you get it up slightly, you're going to use your fingernail or pry tool to pull this connector out, just like this. Okay, and then once you get it partially out, you're going to maneuver the hard drive over and then keep holding this connector here while you kind of pull the hard drive out. There we go. And there's the hard drive. Alright, so we're going to have to transfer over these little screws here on the side of the hard drive and this little plastic tab here. So let's move that out of the way. To do that, you're going to use a Torx, this one's too big. We're going to use a Torx 6 screwdriver. Alright, T6 or Torx 6. So we'll switch to that. And let's remove the 4 screws on the hard drive there. Alright, just like this. So we're going to transfer these over to the new hard drive or the SSD. Okay, the customer also wants to migrate their data. There's multiple ways you can do this. You can do it through the file migration utility. You can also do it by creating a time machine backup. And then what I'm going to do, because we need to install I'm going to install the latest OS, which is on this one, the latest OS it can support is Catalina. So I'll kind of go over that as well, because the installation process to install older operating systems is a little bit tricky. It's not like a direct thing. Alright, so let's go ahead and get these 4 screws into the SSD. Just like that. Like that. Alright, and after we install the OS, then we're going to do the migration process. So we'll get all these 4 screws out. Make sure it's lined up. There we go. Okay, so we got the hard drive like this. So now let's go ahead and peel this off. Okay, so now we know which way that goes. We're going to stick it on like that. Okay, we'll set this hard drive aside for now. And to migrate the data, I'm going to use an adapter like this. All right, it's a SATA to USB adapter. But again, you can create a time machine backup first using an external drive to do that. And that's probably the easiest way if you don't really know what you're doing. But yeah, all right, let's go ahead and pull this connector back up. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and plug this into the SSD, just get it lined up and push that in, just like that. Then we're gonna go ahead and line up these 2 feet down here into the little holes there, and then drop that side down. Get this bracket back in, and we'll put those screws back on. Okay. On this model, this is one of the last models that you can actually upgrade the RAM on. So I'm gonna show the RAM on here, okay. You also have the battery. The battery is held in with 2 tri-wing screws here. I've done videos on how to replace the batteries on this model. What else? Okay, hard drive cable here, CD drive or optical drive cable. This cable's for the wireless card that's in here, right? The fan here, you can remove it with the 3 screws, and there's the connector there. This kind of connector is one where you kind of pop it up underneath to get it off the board. Again, I think I have videos showing that. If you need help with that, just send me a comment and I will try and help you find that. You got the trackpad or touchpad connector here, keyboard connector here. Underneath this little adhesive tab strip thing, that's the keyboard backlight connector. Battery connectors right there. You got, I think this is for the microphone. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to take that out to be sure. Yeah, I don't remember what this connector is for. Then you got the LCD LVDS connector. If you're going to disconnect that, make sure that you disconnect the battery, open up the computer, and press and hold the power button for 15 seconds. Otherwise, you can damage the computer. All right, so the RAM's right here. Just like almost every other computer, you just pull these 2 tabs to the side. The RAM will pop up, and then you can pull this back. All right, make sure that you click both of them down if you take one out. Okay, sometimes it'll pop up the one down there as well. So the RAM is PC3 12800S. All right, keep that in mind. You can use any PC3 12800S RAM. So if you want, you can get 2 8GB sticks. I don't think they make any larger than that. But yeah, all right, let's go ahead and push this back in at an angle, and then we're gonna click it back down. Okay, so there we go. That's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and put the cover back on. We're going to do the operating system install. Right now, there's no operating system on it. There's multiple ways you can reinstall the OS. Let me go ahead and put the screws back in. I'll show you, or I'll show and explain a few ways. And also, after upgrading or replacing hardware, it's always a good idea to do a PRAM and SMC reset. All right. Hopefully this computer has enough battery life in it, because then otherwise I'll have to go get the charger to show this. But let's see here. All right, just get all the screws. Again, if this video helps you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share my channel with others. All right. Okay, 4 more screws. Alright, so we're going to go over multiple ways. So first one we can do, if you're just doing a clean install, we're going to do a, what do you call it? Internet recovery, okay? But let's go ahead and do the PRAM and SMC reset. So SMC reset, what you do is Control Option Shift on the left side and then the power button. If you have the charger plugged in and the light is orange, when you do this, it'll turn green and then it'll go back to orange, and that's how you know you did the SMC reset properly. All right, now we're going to do a PRAM reset. So what you do is you power it on and then Command Option P and R, hold those down. Assuming the computer has power. I guess actually I do need to plug it in. All right, let me go get the charger and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Let's plug this thing in. Okay. Charge light. Oh, this case is getting in the way. All right, oops. So we don't want to start this up. So I'm going to hold the Option key and it will go to the boot menu here. Okay. All right, so there's no bootable devices right now, so it's not going to boot anything. All right, so what I'm going to do, let's do the SMC reset again. So Control Option Shift, as you can see, or hopefully you can see, the light's orange right now. When I push this, it went to green and then back to orange. All right, now we're going to do the PRAM reset since it started itself up, which is Command Option P and R. and then you should see the screen go off and it should chime a second time. That's how you know you did the PRAM reset properly. You can also do it when it's completely shut down, just power it on and then press and hold the those Command Option PNR once you turn it on. Alright, so I'm going to turn the computer off. Now we're going to try, let's do the internet recovery first. Usually I don't like doing this way because it does an old operating system, but the way you do that is you power it on and then press and hold Command R. So when you hold Command R, it's going to pop up and then ask you to enter your internet, your wireless. Alright, so let's go ahead and wait for that. So here you see it's starting internet recovery. Okay, the way I do this is I do it with an external boot, though you could also use your old hard drive. I don't know the customer's password, so I'm going to use my own hard drive to do the install part. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this right now. So we're putting in the wireless password. Okay. Yeah, I can tell already it's going to be doing a really old operating system. So I have this hard drive where I have High Sierra on it. So the reason I like to use High Sierra is because High Sierra was the last operating system that you can actually use the old Mac file system, or I don't know what you call the old firmware. So on the newer ones, if the computer's firmware isn't updated, then it's not going to let you use this. Anyways, this is loading the internet recovery. It's going to take a while, so I'll pause the video and I'll be back when it shows up. Alright, see you guys in a bit. Alright, so it's been about 20-30 minutes and now we got this choose the language option. But again, this is on a super old operating system. So this is on, I think this is Snow Leopard or Leopard. Yeah, that's super old. But anyways, I'm going to go to the disk utility for now. Here you can see the SSD in here. Oops, sorry, there you go. Alright, so what I'm going to do in here, I'm going to erase this. And it's doing macOS Extended Journals, which is good. I'm going to name this Macintosh SSD, alright? So we're going to erase it. You can name it whatever you want, but that's what I'm going to name it. And here you can see it's going to name it and there. Alright, so I don't want to install Snow Leopard, so what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to get my drive that has High Sierra on it, okay? So we're going to turn this back off. I'm going to go to the little Apple thing at the top here, okay? And then we're going to shut down. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to plug in this drive with High Sierra on it. And then I'm going to actually turn it on, hold the Option key. And I'm actually going to boot from this, this drive here. So let me see if I can show this. So I'm holding the Option key. So here you can see we have High Sierra, so I'm going to boot from that. I just press the Enter key. Right, you can also click the little arrow that's pointing to that partition or hard drive. So now it's going to load my copy of High Sierra. It's booting directly off this drive. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to use this drive to install Catalina onto the new drive. Okay, so here you can see it's booting. There we go. We're going to log in. Just put in the password. All right, let's go ahead and open up a web browser here. So I'm going to open Safari. Make sure that you are connected to the internet. I don't know why there's some like sticky stuff here. I'm going to clean that off. Get a little rubbing alcohol and clean this up. Okay, that's better. Alright, so again, we're opening a web browser. Okay, and then in this web browser, I'm going to actually search install Catalina. It should open a Google thing. And what we're going to do is we're going to find the support.apple.com website where it says how to get old versions of macOS. We're going to open that up. Right, then we're going to scroll down here, and here you can see macOS Catalina. So this is to check compatibility. We want to go to download macOS, all right, using Safari on your Mac. So we're going to click Catalina. It's going to open the App Store for you. For some reason, Apple hides this from the App Store, so if you search in here in the App Store itself for Catalina, you're not going to find it. So I don't know why Apple does that. I guess they don't want people to downgrade, but anyways, let's go ahead and click the OS Catalina. The problem with this, with them not putting it in the store, is if you have older MacBooks like this one, you can't install Big Sur, and that's the only operating system that you're going to have available in there. All right, so here you go. We got Catalina started up. Let's go ahead and click continue. I clicked continue, didn't I? All right, there we go. Click agree. Agree up here. Show all disks. Since I'm booting from the external, we don't want to use the orange one. The orange one is the external drive. So now we have this Macintosh SSD that we formatted earlier. All right, and then we're going to install. This will automatically update the firmware and everything, and it will actually format the drive to APFS, I believe. So now we're just going to let this run. It's going to go for however long. It depends on your internet speed and your MacBook speed and things like that. But pretty much this is going to install Catalina on there. Then it's going to restart the Mac. Once it restarts, then it will actually be running off the internal drive, so then we can actually disconnect our external, and then we'll continue the process from there. I'll show you how to migrate the data. All right, so there we go. I'll be back once this thing finishes just to show you, and yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so it finished. Now it's telling me to restart, so just click restart. Alright, and we're gonna just let this go. Once it restarts, it should boot back up to the operating system, so let's wait for this. Here you'll see it's going to run through the install some more. Come on, do your thing. Go, it's restarting. There we go. And now it should boot off the internal drive, and it should be completing the OS. So this is going to run for several more minutes. So we're going to let this run through. So it's going to show this bar, and then it's going to show a timer at the bottom. Just let it run. Even if it looks stuck, just let it keep going. All right, this can take anywhere from another 10 to 40 minutes. Okay, so I'll see you in a bit when it's finished. Or I'll see you when it starts showing the timer, or if I see something change. Alright. Okay, so the bar moved a little more, and here it says about 13 minutes remaining. So we're just going to let this run, and then, yeah, we'll be back when it starts up. Alright, after this finishes, it'll basically be like when you buy a new Mac, guiding you through the language and other setup stuff. But yeah, other than that, we'll see you in a bit. Alright, so it says about a minute remaining. We're just going to keep waiting, and I'll be back when it's done. See you guys. Alright, so it just restarted itself, and it's loading up. Most likely going to have to shut the computer off so that I can connect the old hard drive instead of this one. Alright, so we'll let this load. Might have a customer here right now, but let's see. Alright, it's taking a while to load, so we'll let that go, and then we'll be back when it's done. Alright, the screen's changing colors, so it should be almost done. Alright, loading. So there's a lot of just loading, sitting, waiting for it to load. Right, so there we go. It finally is going to this where it's basically when you start up the computer. I'm going to power it off, so I'm going to hold the power button. Right, it pops up this. I'm going to shut it down. And that's so I can just switch the hard drive out, the external drive that we have connected here. We want this old hard drive plugged in instead. Alright, so computer's off. Alright, make sure this is off so it's not on anymore. Let's go ahead and pop the drive out. Now we're going to get the other hard drive here, and we're going to stick that on. Alright, I can't do this so well with one hand. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and power this back up. Alright, and usually after doing the install, I like to do a PRAM and SMC reset as well. But yeah, we're going to migrate everything over, and then that's pretty much all there is to this. Okay, so we'll let this load again. Again, if this video helped you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share my channel with others so that they can also learn how to upgrade and repair their devices. Okay, again, if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little bit to the channel so I can continue making these videos for a living. And come on, load, load, load. So this is taking a while to load. There we go. So it's going to pop up again. We're going to select the US option, of course. All right, so wait for this. Of course, you want to select your location. So if you're not in the US, don't select that. All right, continue. We're going to just leave these settings for English and stuff. All right, now we're going to connect to the wireless again. All right. Oops, let me enter that and I'll be back. Okay, password was entered. Just press enter to connect, or you can click continue. Data privacy, continue. Now we have this, how do you want to transfer your information? So we're transferring from another Mac or a time machine backup or startup disk. All right, so again, you can do a time machine backup and it makes it easier. So here you see this hard drive here that we have connected externally. I don't know why it's not showing up as orange. Usually when you have an external hard drive, it shows up as orange. But we'll continue here, and then it will show the customer stuff that it wants to connect. So I'll be back once it's getting to this part, right? Oh man, so his hard drive is encrypted with the file vault, file vault. So I'm gonna have to ask my customer for the password, and then we'll continue. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit. So we got the password. Oops, I need to do that without caps lock on, so let me do that again. All right, hopefully that was the right password. We'll unlock it and we'll be back. All right, so now this other thing popped up and we're just gonna keep waiting. I don't know why it's taking so long, but we'll be back in a bit. All right, so now it shows this screen. So all we're going to do, so you can see applications and then other files and folders. There's little things so you can uncheck what it transfers. If it doesn't show the little thing to expand, you can wait till those things finish loading, but we're going to transfer over everything. So now we're just going to click continue here. All right. Okay. I can't do this while holding that, but there we go. Click continue. All right. Then it wants you to set the password. So we'll set that and we'll be back. Just click the set password. All right. There we go. So now we're going to just set the password there. Okay. And then just click continue. All right, and there we go. So now it's going to transfer everything over. Just wait till this completely finishes, then the computer will restart and you're good to go. So again, hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, make sure like, subscribe, share my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.